First, I want to wish you a very happy new year coming up. And I also want to remind you that we are coming into the final days, the final hours really, of the Holiday Sizzle giveaway that I've been having for the last few weeks. And there are so many things for you to know and for you to be able to win. I just wanted to cover a few of those things and review some of the amazing things people have been saying on their reviews. Thank you so much. It is mind-boggling. It blows my mind. Some of the things that you've told me that I didn't even know have been happening. So stay tuned for that, and I'll be sharing with you some amazing things people have been saying. But first, I just wanted to tell you this giveaway is something that is super special to my heart because I normally don't work with people one-on-one, and I have opened up 3 half-hour wealth mentoring opportunities to work with me. I know that a lot of people ask how to work with me, and there's certain programs I have and exciting things I'm going to do next year. But I don't have the one-on-one mentoring anymore. It just doesn't make sense from a time perspective for me and a cost perspective too. It's fairly cost prohibitive. So I wanted to open up these slots in the giveaway. And along with that, I'm giving away 11 copies of the Wealth Heiress book, which again, people are loving, men and women are loving, which is so exciting to me. Thank you so much. And then also my Wealthy Mindset Blueprint, which normally sells for $197. And they're audios of my voice walking you through how exactly to shift your mindset, from affirmations, creating your own personalized affirmations, to how to start thinking differently, how to plan what it is you really want for your future, how to decide on your goals for your future. All of these things are in my Wealthy Mindset Blueprint audios. So these are the giveaways: the wealth mentoring time with me, the books, which by the way, I'm going to personalize for you however you want. I can sign it to you or a friend and also autograph. And then the Wealthy Mindset Blueprint audios. So here's the thing. People have been writing the most amazing, I mean, mind-blowing reviews. I don't even know what to say. I'm so impressed by what you're doing, how you're using the information that you've been learning on the show, and I'm stunned to hear in particular this one. This one is by SWT Gracie, who says, retired at 48. I listen to many podcasts throughout my day, and this one is top on my list. Linda manages to input a wealth of information into bite-sized pieces in under 20 minutes. She is always informative and ready to discuss hot current topics. I would suggest binge listening from the beginning and build on your financial goals from there. Life is good now, and I'm blessed to be in the position I am in. I have learned so much from this podcast and her book. Wow! Okay, that blew my mind. Thank you so much, and congratulations on retiring at 48. That is exactly what I'm trying to do with this podcast, is give you the principles to shift your mindset, but also put into practice financial concepts that you're really not hearing elsewhere. I don't think anyway. I think I differ a lot from what other people are saying. And everything that I'm telling you is from what has worked in my own life to build wealth. And these principles work, and I'm so glad you have been putting them into practice, and congratulations. That is mind-blowing. Thank you so much. Here's another one from Sammy Sam 12321. They say, wow, what a fantastic podcast. Because of Linda and the podcast, my wealth is moving in the right direction. Keep up the great work, Linda. Thank you. And I give all credit back to you because you're putting what I teach into practice. And that's the whole deal. That's what you got to do. You got to actually start practicing these things, start shifting your mindset, start using the 6 steps to wealth, start using the wealth checklist in the book. These are the things that are practical things you can do to get your wealth moving in the right direction. Here's from Eric Summerford. He said, outstanding podcast, 5 stars. Linda P. Jones has done a great job with this podcast. I appreciate all the value she brings to this platform and follow this podcast nearly daily. Thank you so much for all of the content you provide. Thank you, Eric, for being here and for being a devoted listener. I so appreciate that. This is from Adnan Mikhail. 5 stars. I love your podcast. I have been listening to your podcast for over a year, and I liked it a lot because it helps me to learn about investments. I love to say thank you so much. Well, thank you, Adnan. That is so cool that you're here and that you've been a listener for a year or more. And I'm so glad that you're taking it all in and practicing everything. Here's another one from Wealth Mentee. Very educational. Linda, my routine every morning is to listen to you and take notes. My daughters and I are on board checking off everything you wrote on the checklist on your new book. Rena. Well, Rena, thank you so much. And I love that people are bringing their kids into the podcast because I have always tried to make it so that kids could understand what I'm saying. I use plain English. I don't use the jargon that's out there, and I make it possible for even beginners and very sophisticated investors to get something out of my podcast. That is really my whole point, is to make complex concepts simple. So it's not that I'm dumbing it down, it's that you're getting very complex ideas, concepts, and things like that, but you're getting it said in a way that's in plain English, finally, so that it's not masked, it's not coded, it's not confusing for people, but it's straightforward and simpler. Here's another one from M. Shabal. Very useful podcast for good financial habits. 5 stars. I have been following Linda's podcast for 1 year now. The money management advice that she gives is very methodical and useful for people of all ages. Especially when there is a dearth of financial training in schools today, Linda is doing a great job at educating people for money matters to achieve their long-term goals. Thanks a lot, Linda. Looking forward to learning more from you with every episode. Thank you, and I'm so glad that you are using my advice. And you're right, there isn't proper financial training in schools, and it really is criminal. We really, really need this kind of financial education, and that's exactly why I provide the information I provide. Here's another one from BankNid1410. 5 stars. Great stuff to learn and follow. My wife hates money podcasts, but she finally loves this one, thanks to Linda. This one tickled me to no end because I am here for you women. I'm here for the men too. But the men, for some reason, are more naturally drawn to financial matters sometimes. And sometimes women are less attracted to it. And I want to talk about it in a way that makes it more attractive for women. So that's why I wrote the Wealth HEIRESS book. That's why I did it in the way I did, with the cover that I did, with the stories that I put in there, with the checklist, with just everything, thinking in terms of what would attract women to want to read that book. And the men are loving it too, of course, because there's sound, savvy financial information in there. I mean, the chapter on bubbles and cycles, people are telling me that is their favorite chapter. I put that in there because I didn't know any other financial book that had ever included that in their book. And I wanted to add that to the financial conversation about what's going on with bubbles and cycles, how the elite have been holding that information to themselves, and how this has been known for a long time but not told to the people. I know it's not a conspiracy theory, that is a fact. And I do back it up with facts with everything I talk about. That is a chapter that people are commenting on a lot, that they are loving the most in the book, which is really, really interesting because I felt a little bit, I don't know, I just felt like a little out there putting it out. But I also felt like I had researched everything, backed everything up, and it was time to share that information with people. So that's what I did. Another review that really tickled me was this one from Market Bear, the podcast that got me into wealth creation, they say, and rated it 5 stars. Really, the title says it all. Stumbled across this podcast and fallen down the rabbit hole of personal finance. Thanks for helping me take my first steps and continue on my journey. I love that. It was just so honest and so amazing. And if I can help you on the journey to wealth creation, that just makes my day, because I love it when people aren't drawn to personal finance and I can get them interested in it, because that's really my whole challenge. That is what I think about every day. How can I get people who aren't interested in finance interested in finance? How can I make it fun, simple, attractive, something that you want to learn rather than something that is so dry. Believe it or not, I get bored by some financial information. There are some websites I go to which totally just make the eyes in my head roll back, and I don't want to be looking at that information. So it happens to me too. And that's why I really wanted to talk about finance in a different way and create a podcast that would attract people of all ages, of all types, of all investment experience, of all amounts of money. It's not that my market is everyone, but my market is people who want more solid information about financial matters and what really works. They want it delivered in a simple and interesting, straightforward way. And they want something that allows them to live a better life. It's not a life of squalor. It's not a life of squandering money. It's not a meager life. I just don't agree with that. I want to give you a luxurious life. You don't necessarily have to be driving a Rolls Royce or living in a mansion, but I do want you to experience things like eating in a first-class restaurant or staying overnight in a luxurious hotel somewhere in an exotic country. These are life experiences that you can't put a price tag on. They're things that I think are so incredible to experience, and I want everyone to be able to experience those things rather than limiting yourself and putting money so important that you can't really live, that you don't feel it's there to serve you. You're serving it in the way that it's made money so important that you can't do anything but live a meager life. To me, that's making yourself a slave to money. So I am not in agreement with the people who are living these meager lives, but I understand that they're trying to get eventually to financial freedom. I just don't agree with the methods. And it's not about just living on less. You've got to get the investment component in there. And that's what I really try and stress with people. The compounding is what equals wealth. The compounding your money is what is going to get you financial freedom. It's not the not spending of money. It's the investing of the money that's going to make it grow and multiply for you. And yes, there is a savings component. As you know, step 2 to wealth is saving a nest egg. You have to have capital to invest. But if that's all you do is save, that's not going to get you to your goal. You'd have to make an awful lot of money to be able to save enough to get to 7 figures and to be able to retire. You need to invest the money and grow it. That's how Warren Buffett became one of the wealthiest men in the world. It was by investing and compounding. His average annual return has been over 20% per year, and at some points 26% on an annualized basis in his earlier years. So these are regular compounding rates of return that got him to become the richest man in the world at one point. So I want you to be thinking about investing, getting more comfortable with investing, and that's why we're here. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you some of those reviews and remind you we are in the last days and hours, as I said, of this amazing holiday sizzle contest because it's all over on January 1st. And I'll be reading the winners on January 1st. So this is the time for you to get entered. How do you do that? You enter by leaving a podcast review. That will get your name in the hat 2 times. If you got the book other than on Amazon and you leave a review on Amazon, that will put your name in the hat 3 times. If you bought the book on Amazon and it says verified review, that will get your name in the hat 5 times. If you do a podcast review and either a verified or non-verified review, any review on Amazon plus a podcast review, get your name in the hat 10 times for the drawing. And I do want to mention that because someone I was talking with said, well, I've already left you a podcast review and I didn't buy my book on Amazon. And I said, it's okay if you left me a podcast review and you leave a review on Amazon, whether you bought it on Amazon or not, you're going to get your name in the drawing 10 times. If I can match your name in the reviews to the book review, then I know it's the same person. So your name would go in the hat 10 times. So this is the time to be leaving reviews, please. And I hope you win. Again, I've said this all along. I think you have a really great chance of winning because we have 25 prizes to give away. And it's so easy to get entered, and it's so easy to get your name in the hat 10 times that I think everybody should do it. So I just wanted to encourage you, if this is something that you're hoping for, time with me or one of my books or the Wealthy Mindset Blueprints, this is the time. These are the last few hours until January 1st, when I will be revealing the winners on the podcast on January 1st. So again, Happy New Year. Thank you. Thank you for being loyal listeners, for being the best audience, the best people. I am so proud of you. I am so grateful for you. I just am so happy that people are putting these principles to work, are getting great results, and I love hearing about it. So thank you so much, and Happy New Year.